Now, the question we are discussing today is this: should religion be taught in school? Should religion be taught in school? Now, I've been having trouble thinking about this. A very worrying trend is taking place. And what worries me is this: I see this present generation going to hell in a handbasket, as they would say. It looks like we are powerless to do anything about it. It seems like we can't stop this train. Maybe it's just a simple lack of the fear of God in the lives of our young people, or simply godlessness, period. Whatever the case is, my internal question is, where does the responsibility lie about teaching God? Where does it start? Where does it stop? We teach our children to read and we teach them to write. We teach them good etiquette. We tell them how to appear decent in public and how to conduct good, proper conversation. But the question is, what about God? Teach me about mathematics. You teach me about algebra. You teach me about trigonometry and all of this kind of stuff. But you don't teach me about God, the most important thing in life you're not teaching me about. The question today is this: should religion be taught in the schools? The Bible says righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. I guess there's a reason why some are refusing to teach this. Some are refusing to address this. I guess there is a reason why. But my question is, why? Tell me why religion should not be taught in the school. Why shouldn't it be a part of the curriculum in some respects? This is a very important question, and it speaks to a generational issue. It speaks to a moral issue. It speaks to a character issue. If we leave God out of the schools, what will happen? My parents told me that in their day and time, religion was a part of the school. It was part of their upbringing in school. Now, hold a second here. We know that parents, fathers, mothers, big brother, big sister, aunt, uncle, some big cousin has a role to play in the education aspect. I'm talking about religious now, in the younger generation, where parents are supposed to teach their children God, supposed to instill God and the fear of God in the lives of their children. But how about the school? Why isn't religion being taught in school? Are you trying to tell me that maths is more important than prayer? Are you trying to tell me that English language or another secondary language is more important than righteousness, Are you trying to tell me that a university degree is more important than a degree in theology? What are we doing? And then when it's all said and done, we turn around and we blame the church. We turn around and we blame the system. We turn around and we blame others for the mess that our children, this generation, is in. And I believe that the mess that we are in today, the mess that this generation is in today, is directly related to the fact that religion is not being taught in school. I want to know what your comments are. I want you to comment on my Facebook page. More than that, I want you to like my page, to share your thoughts on this subject. Should religion be taught in school? It is great to see you and great for you to be a part of this. Maybe some are neglecting the whole aspect of religion because they are afraid of God. They are afraid that if they touch a subject, they may be a part of something that they don't want to be. Why are we in such a place where we are refusing to teach religion in school? My question to you today is this: should religion be taught in the schools? What do you say? I would really like to know your answer to this question. Should religion be taught in school, or should we leave religion out of school? Should we just stick to biology? Should we just stick to chemistry? Should we, watch this, should we leave this whole aspect of religion to those who teach, instead of creationism, to teach our children and to tell them that we came from apes and monkeys and baboon, and that over time this human species has evolved? I can tell you this. I had an experience of this while I was at high school, and I was at sixth form at high school. And in sixth form, I decided that I wanted to do advanced biology. And by that time, I became a devout Christian. And you would know what I mean. And I had a teacher who, well, part of the curriculum, he had to teach us evolution. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. And my God, I just couldn't take it. It was my firm belief that we came from God, that we are created beings, and that we did not evolve from a primordial soup, and over millions of years evolve to be who we are today. And I refuse to even attend classes on evolution. Cost me dearly. But if we can have evolution being taught in school, I had to take it if I wanted to do advanced biology. I had to. It was part of the curriculum. I had to. I had no choice. If I had a choice, I had to decide I was not going to take it. Take it or leave it. I didn't take it. I had to leave it. Cost me dearly. But if you can make a decision to teach evolution at school, why not teach creationism? Why not teach God? Why not teach religion in school? Should religion be taught in school? If they can teach evolution, why not teach religion as we know it? And I believe that if we do this, we will have a changed society. The facts are there. Statistics are there. This generation we live in is more immoral than the previous generation. Who wants to dispute that? Ungodliness rather, is on the increase. Lawlessness is on the increase. And there is a reason why. It is because it is not being taught. And at an appropriate level. Righteousness exalts any nation, any individual, any family. The family that teaches God knows God. The family that rejects God will definitely feel the wrath of God. And if we teach God at school, it is my humble opinion, I don't know about you, that this generation is going to rise to a next level. If we refuse to, as we are wanting to do and are compelling ourselves to do, then we will definitely lose a generation, and God would lose a generation. Should religion be taught in school? I have with me today in studio my son Jesse, and he's going to give his opinion on this topic here. But I have a strong feeling about this. And the question is, should religion be taught in school? What do you have to say? Yeah, this is something that needs to be addressed. The older generation took steps to do it, but ungodliness is creeping in. And so folks are refusing to do this because they don't seem to want anything to do with God. Go ahead, Jesse.
I think it's a tricky topic. Hello to everyone. It's a tricky topic. To really say in this day and age to have religion taught in school is something I have to really think about, because there's so many different religion, as you know. So to really say religion, we have to identify what religion specifically are we talking about. Christianity, we're talking about Hinduism, um, Buddhism, you know. So, But as far as my experience growing up in Guyana, um, I grew up, you know, knowing that every morning as I go to school, you have to start with a prayer. And obviously, that was my upbringing, starting with a prayer and acknowledging God. So that was my experience, 20 some years ago, So for the younger kids now, I don't know what it's like right now in Guyana or what it is in the Caribbean countries, but I know right now in North America, you don't have things like prayers. You don't have, teachers um, pushing any type of religion. Matter of fact, the religion right now they're pushing is homosexuality. That is the religion right now that they're pushing in the schools, teaching kids to acknowledge, different, gender and different sexuality and all these different things. But when it comes to religion, I don't see that here. So it's really tricky to say if there should, because there's so many different religion. But I think there needs to be some type of acknowledgement of God. Now, that's why I think it should start with a home, because the school won't really focus specifically on any type of particular religion. So it starts with the home, starts with the parents, and that's where I think should be the emphasis and the focus is the home.
Yeah, but what happens now that we leave God out of the school? There is a consequence. What happens? There definitely is going to be a consequence.
I mean, absolutely, is a consequence. I just say consequence. Yes, absolutely, there is some type of.
Isn't unrighteousness or lawlessness going to increase when we refuse to teach religion? Hey, listen to me. I'm saying, listen. Religion is religion, meaning you say, hey, listen, this is Hinduism, okay? This is Christianity. This is Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen to me. This is what these religions teach you. All right? And generally, most of these religions have some basic principles that govern them that tends to lead to good moral values. All right?
Okay.
Generally. But then, if you distinguish, hey, listen, this religion that is called Christianity is about a God who loves you, who gave his only begotten Son for you. And he came to earth and he died and he said that if you will believe in me, you would find a path to the Father. For I am the way, the truth, and the life, and nobody comes to the Father but by me. So even if you introduce all the religions, then you would have to say, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. Hey, listen. Give them a choice.
I understand what you're saying. I definitely understand what you're saying. Just to kind of come off, not necessarily topic, but just to kind of read some of the comments that we have in the comment section. We have Deborah. She said, yes, I believe religion should be taught in school because our kids or children are exposed to all kind of things. So why not religion? God first and everything after.
Thank you for joining us, Deborah.
And we have Andrew Mark. He said we should allow religion teaching in school, which he's agreeing on that. So yeah, so far we got people agreeing on the idea that religion should be taught in school.
So now, for those who have agreed or agree on this subject, how can we, what should be done, if at all anything can be done, to make this happen or happen again? Because we know this used to happen. That is a nice question for you to make a suggestion on this Facebook page here. But go ahead, Jesse, if you still have any other comments to make on this here.
Yeah, I think with the religion aspect of it, I think what needs to also be emphasized is that do kids want to learn about religion, right? Are the kids at what age do we start off with teaching them about
You
God? I mean,
start, you
you
start,
we would say early. We
you
will
start,
say
you start from the womb, as far as I'm concerned. If we
right,
say womb,
right. So
yeah.
that starts in the home, but outside of the home now, we
Not necessarily outside the home, from the womb. Even while that kid is in the mother's womb,
okay.
you're supposed to be telling that kid, hey, listen, you are God's creation.
I agree.
You are fearfully and wonderfully made by your creator. So speak to them from the womb, and this takes its root from birth and propels them through life.
I agree. I agree. It has to start in the womb, and so the question also we have to ask now: are we bringing kids up in a godly home, starting with the parents and the mother and the father? Now, once that is established, the same expectation should be put in the schools as well. Are the teachers, are the curriculum, the principal, where the decision has to come down from? Are they also focused on teaching kids about religion?
Or listen to me then. Why we send our children to school?
Send them to learn.
To learn what?
Say so learn many different things. There's so many different things they can
Why
learn.
don't we then keep them out of school and teach them at home?
Homeschooling?
Well, what's the purpose of school then? Why can't what is done in school be done in the home?
That's a good question.
Simply because the teachers are supposed to be the professionals, right?
Yeah.
They're supposed to be the learned ones, right? But you don't send your kid in a maths class to be taught by a Spanish teacher. A math class is taught by a professional math teacher, isn't that right?
Absolutely.
So if you can send your children to school to learn math by a math teacher, then if there's a math teacher to teach your kid to learn math, the same way there can be a religious teacher to teach your children religion. Isn't that right?
There is religion, I believe, but it's not in high schools or elementary schools. You can learn that in universities. Because I remember in university, I had an option to, go into religious studies and so forth. So, in terms of the education, university, you can access those things.
Yeah,
Obviously,
but
you
that's
have to
higher,
pay.
but that's
Right.
higher level of.
Right.
I'm talking about the
So-
basics of religion, just the
Right.
basics that there is a God. The thing about it is that we are living, especially in this North American culture, in a godless society, a society that throws God out and just say, hey, listen, you are who you are, and hey, listen, your God in this country here or in this hemisphere is money. And so materialism has taken the place of God. And you know why they don't teach them religion? Because they want to teach them materialism. In fact, religion is not being taught in school because materialism. Therefore, let me phrase it this way. We are teaching our children religion in the form of materialism. That's the take.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because right now the emphasis is not on learning about God. The emphasis is about idolizing the celebrities, idolizing the materialism, things like cars, clothes, houses. And this is what is current day religion. That's what people want to achieve, and that becomes part of their sanctuary and what they worship. So I agree with you on that point.
Okay, therefore, we are saying now that yes, religion is taught in school, but the religion that we teach, its name is materialism. Is that right?
Absolutely, I agree on that. I agree. That's the religion right now. That's basically what the religion is.
And for that reason, this generation is going to hell in a handbasket because.
But you see, when you say that, it rubs people the wrong way. When you say, this generation going to hell in a handbasket, because now, it's sort of like if I don't teach God, or if I don't learn about God, that means I'm going to hell. So you can't serve two masters at the same time.
That is true.
So if we're gonna say that I don't want to learn about God, well, who's your God then? What God are you gonna focus on? Is it the God that you think is the house that you want to achieve? Which is nothing wrong with getting a house or getting a fancy car or getting nice clothing. Nothing wrong with that. But when you put that to a certain amount of esteem and you live that up to a point where now
Where it's worshipped.
it's worship, not only worship, but now that's what you go to bed, you dream about it, you everything you do, evolves around getting that fancy car, getting a nice big house, and God, the God who actually give you a life, becomes secondary or the last priority. Now, that becomes a problem. That's where the problem is. If you don't have this balance of understanding the one who can give you all these things is the God Himself, right? If you're not worshiping Him and giving Him the praise and giving Him the acknowledgement, and everything else come after Him, if you don't have that, that's a problem.
Yeah, well, I believe the time has come. And we are living in enlightened times. We shouldn't allow a certain mentality to dictate the future or the future destiny of this and subsequent generation, because it is a fact. Godlessness is on the increase. And the reason why godlessness is on the increase is because of a lack of the knowledge of the true and living God. The parents have a responsibility to do it. Just like you send your kids to school, they teach them these principles and they send them home with homework. Isn't that right? And when they send them home with the homework, what do? You just ask the kid, what did you learn in school today? And you don't ask them, what homework do you have to do? And if they have questions or anything like that, you take the time to sit down with them and to go through what they learn and to give them further guidance more than just what the teacher teaches them. Do you just allow them to go to school and then you leave everything else to the teacher? No, you sit down with them and then you explain to them and then you help them. That's what we do, and that's how they continue to learn. They have education at home and they have education at school. In the same way, if we do it in the reverse, parents teach their children God and religion at home and then supplement this at school. I believe if we do this, my Facebook friends, we will have one of the greatest society who will enjoy the blessings and prosperity of a God who delights in those who delight after Him.
Yeah, I agree. I honestly agree, and I think what we need to do also as a family, um, especially in the time that we live in right now, with so many things happening in society, you got people creating, committing senseless murders. You got people who are going crazy. You got people losing their families through mental illness. You got a lot of problems in our society, and these are the times when we need God the most, because what's going to happen is that these things, it's not going to stop. It's going to continue to get worse. And I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm trying to just let you know what's happening, because if you look at what's happening right now, you compare that to what is the 90s, 80s, or 70s, you look back and say these things never happened back in my days. But these things are happening today because there's a gradual decay in our society as it relates to understanding who our creator is, and understanding where God is and the foundation of the home. These things are constantly being shred apart, and there's an agenda that is being created to rip the family apart, to take God out of the church, God out of the school, out of the homes. So now what happened is that the devil can come in and create chaos. And that's what we're seeing right now. So it's important that we at least establish some type of foundation whether it's in the home or you homeschool or you have your kids in some type of Catholic school, whatever it is, the point is there needs to be some type of acknowledgement and worship to the Most High, not the house, not the car, and all the fancy thing that's gonna just last us for a short time, because those things can easily be taken back from us. But God Himself is what give us life, give us the breath that we need to function day to day. That's what we need in our life,
Listen to me.
right?
The scripture says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things, the car, the house, the clothes, the fun, whatever you desire, all these things shall be what? Added unto you. There's a foundation, and that foundation is seeking God first. Put God where he belongs. And as far as I am concerned, God belongs as part of the curriculum. He should be taught in school. I believe that religion should be taught in school. I don't know what's your take about this. This is my firm belief that religion should be taught in school. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin, in the absence of the teachings of God, this is what happens. Sin becomes a reproach to many people. I want you to comment on this. I want you to like, to share on this, my Facebook page. And it is great to have had you with us today, and great for you to be a part of this interactive program. God love you, and God's blessings upon you, and his peace be upon you and your entire family. Thank you for joining us today, and hope to see you, my Facebook friends, on another episode of Interactive. Remember to like, share, and comment.
Absolutely. Good night, guys. And once again, if you have any topics for the next session, which is next Tuesday, you can always send a private message to Joseph Conley Wilson, his page, and on his Facebook page, you can always send a message there. If you guys want any type of prayer request, anything like that, you can always reach out to him. So have a great night, and thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a fantastic day.
We would love to pray with you, pray for your requests. God bless you.